Hello, people. Welcome to the Lee Cole 3 podcast. And we have with us my partner, James Proctor. James, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing really well. How are you, Lee?
I'm pretty good. Um,
Good.
we're here to talk about Mikey Scars. Mikey Scars, we're going to talk about a little bit about Sammy too. But Mikey Scars did a show yesterday. And during that show, he pretty much tried to lay out why some of the stuff that he informed on wasn't really informing.
Right.
Um, what did you think about the show yesterday?
Yeah, so I found it was a result of there were a couple of videos that were done by James at OC Shorts, and so the first one was talking about a question posed: Who did more damage to the Gambino family? Was it Sammy Gravano or was it Michael DiLeonardo? And OC Shorts thought, yeah, it could be Michael DiLeonardo. So that was the first video, and then the second one was where and it was very interesting, in my opinion. He actually talked about the 15 trials, 14 or 15 trials that Mikey Scars was part of as an informant, and then also talked about the 80 or so people that he put away. So, this was a chance for Mikey Scars to respond to, some of those items.
Do you think he should have maybe not even answered it and just kept on going? Because the fact of the matter is, he is an informant. The name of his show is No Excuses. Do you think that maybe him doing the show yesterday was him trying to make excuses?
Yeah, I think it had been better if he hadn't done that. I do think that what I saw from it was that he did want to respond to what James at OC Short said. I know that one of the comments that Mikey had on his thumbnail was, it doesn't matter if it's one person you put away or 99, it's still ratting. So, he looked at it that way instead of, maybe one person's done more damage than another.
See, but you have to understand. Okay, so people say he testified against John Gotti Jr.
Hmm.
When he testified against John Gotti Jr., he failed at it. Nobody
Right.
went to prison for anything that he said about
Right.
John Gotti Jr. They talked about Curtis Sliwa.
Hmm.
Okay, that didn't go over. He talked about other stuff. The Gotti that he really affected the most was Peter Gotti. Would you say that?
Yes, exactly. So yeah, Peter Gotti, got put away for, all the rest of his life. He died in prison.
And one of the main things was the murder. Well, the murder attempt on Sammy Gravano.
Yep.
So he was responsible for bringing that murder attempt charge out. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, Peter does not get a life sentence without that murder attempt. I mean,
Right.
yeah, that was conspiracy to murder.
Yeah,
So
exactly. They needed that, whenever you do a racketeering type trial, or racketeering charge, you need to have murder or to be part of it. And so, yep, he probably would not have gotten life in prison without that charge.
and we have to remember that no matter what we think of Mikey Scars, whether we think he's trying to do good, I have stated that I think that he's good for this genre because he's calling out a lot of things that Sammy Gravano is lying about. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, most definitely, and that's what I've seen that has been good is someone that actually was in the life at the same time as Sammy that can come out and you know be able to tell Sammy that he's full of it and he has the proof. So I like that part of it.
See, here's what when you say that you were devastated because you had to testify against John Jr., who was your brother, your friend, or
Hmm.
whatever. You already gave up a Gotti. You literally were the main factor. Peter Gotti got put in jail for the rest of his life and died in prison.
Right.
We have to remember this. You were one of the main guys for Fat Sal Scala dying in
Hmm.
prison. This was the VIP lounge and other stuff that you came up and Tommy the Monk Sassano, uh, another guy.
Yep.
And then you even talked, and he even talked about Alley Boy Persico. I mean, and he wasn't even in the Colombo family. This is basically on hearsay, I guess. And it was
Yeah.
on the Bill Catullo murder.
Yeah.
So he gave up a lot of things on a lot of people, but then he keeps saying about John Jr. he didn't want to do it. See, every time you get up there, there's no forgiveness from the. Do you think there's any forgiveness from the Gotti family for what he's put that family through?
No, not at all. There's no forgiveness for it.
Well, he made another statement last night too, and Angel Gotti. Now, Angel Gotti's a friend of mine. Everybody knows that. But I want to ask you a question. Do you think that Angel Gotti takes marching orders from her brother?
No, not at all. No one tells Angel what to do, and she's going to do whatever she wants to do.
And he came
Say
out.
what she wants to say,
Well, during the show last night, and listen, I talk to Angel every day.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. Me and that woman, we argue all the time. Why do we argue? Because she's so bullheaded.
Yeah.
And I'm bullheaded. You put two bullheaded people together, it turns into arguments.
Right.
Because sometimes she'll tell me things I do not want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll sit back and I'll think about what she told me and I'll say, you know what? I think she's right on this one.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was about to do something yesterday and I asked her opinion on it. Then I disagreed with her opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said to me, Lee, your problem is you don't listen to me. I'm just giving you my opinion. You do what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she'll say to me. So Mikey Scars is saying that Angel's taking her marching orders from her brother. Are you kidding me? Her brother doesn't want anything to do with this crap online.
No, not at all. She, if it was up to him, she wouldn't be, even online at all, so.
This is a man that doesn't have internet. He uses a flip phone.
Yeah.
He doesn't have internet in his house.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's called, you don't, God knows what the feds can do when you have internet or these smartphones and all this stuff,
Yeah.
He basically talks on the phone and he texts. That's what he does.
Right.
And, so Mikey Scars thinks that he's running around and he's like, oh, these guys are here. No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Right. Exactly.
So why don't you give me some more versions of what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. The government did call him of all the people that had been informants, that they said that he was the one that was the most credible people. That he did the most for the government, and that's even with not being successful in getting John Gotti Jr. put away. So
he was very successful in getting a lot of people put away. But he wasn't successful with John Gotti Jr.
Right.
So pretty much the government didn't even need him against John Gotti Jr., did they? It failed.
No, right. It failed. Yeah.
I mean, they believed you with that as much as they believed John A. Light.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it just didn't. Yeah. It just the juries didn't believe it, and the government, 4 or 5 trials and never was able to, get him put away.
And when they went after John Gotti Jr., it was based on a few things, and they didn't stick. And one of them was the Curtis Sliwa shooting, the Guardian Angel, and he wasn't found guilty for that.
Right.
But there was an attempt to put him away for that. So this whole thing, what they're talking about with Junior, he still gave them a Gotti. He still put a Gotti on a platter. Would you say that?
Yeah, most definitely. And so, I mean, he definitely put away a Gotti. And I believe that the trial with Peter Guy, that was way before Junior was.
Well, that
4 or 5 trials. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, he was convicted. Let's see, March 17th, 2003.
Yeah.
Extortion, money laundering, racketeering.
Right.
But that other thing that came up with the Sammy thing was based totally on what the information they got from Mikey DiLeonardo.
Right. Exactly. And so yeah. I mean, I just thought it was interesting to me. There was a few things that I thought interesting too. Regarding we've heard there's like three different versions of why Mikey Scars decide to testify, and
Right.
so
And I don't
and
want
what
to talk. I don't want to talk about the son. The son.
no, and
Yeah.
I like his, he goes to our
Him and his
wrestling
father
channel
made
and
up,
Atlanta.
and
Hmm.
he supports his father now. That's
Yep.
their business. I
Yep.
have issues with my son, so
Hmm.
you know what? It's his issue, and I'm not going
Yep.
to dare speak on it.
Exactly. And so, there was some things too that, they felt that, Gotti's lawyers, was talking about how it was maybe more of a personal thing dealing with
It was more
Mikey's
of a family
ex-wife. And yeah.
because he stated that besides the family things, what's some of the other stuff that said why he flipped? Because Peter was keeping his money or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So so apparently they were saying that Mikey Scars was robbing from the family. That was one of the comments, and so Mikey was saying, "Well, no, I didn't." So yeah, I'm not sure where that came from. And then the other thing is that supposedly Junior was upset about Mikey Scars when he was in prison, waiting trial. Apparently he had divorced his wife and there was another woman or whatever, and the family wasn't going to support this other woman. And so anyway, Mikey Scars got and this was saying too that was brought up in the video yesterday. So he was a captain at the time, and so what ended up happening was that they stripped him of his captain title, and also he was a big earner. He had the unions, I think, and so that was taken from him. And the Gambinos weren't going to support him, and so there was some sort of personal falling out that occurred there that was in place. But where Mikey, what was interesting to me is that he believes that a person that is in prison should never lose their rank, but we see a lot of instances where especially someone that's at running a crew or an underboss or a boss, you'll see
Yeah,
different
and all
families
the
do
families
that.
have different reasons for that.
Yeah, it's
If you
different
have a powerful
policies.
guy out in
Yeah.
the street, he's going to do whatever he could to get that guy stripped in prison. Because you
Yeah.
will get more guys out the street to become more powerful. This is what caused Bill Catullo his life.
Yes,
Wild Bill, because
exactly.
he was very powerful within the Colombo family, and so Persico from prison decided that he wanted to take him out.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know, Persico is actually one of the ones that actually kept his rank till the day he died.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then we talked about Stephen Crea, and he was allegedly the underboss, and they said that they stripped him when he got sentenced. So a lot depends on how long they're going to be in prison. If it's for life, it depends on the family. I mean, and I think what it is, like what you said, it's really depends on how powerful that person is. If they can still manage and run things on the street through an advocate like Carmine Persico, they're going to stay in power. But in other cases, they're not going to, and so it just depends on the family. So I don't.
A matter of
Yeah,
fact, Persico, they wanted on that they went into a family war with Persico still in prison and one man
exactly.
representing him, and
Yeah,
and he stayed in power
right,
even from prison. He won a damn war. So
right, and that's where Mikey Scars was, and so that's where he was. Trying. That was his reasoning
so do you
or
think Mikey
excuse.
Scars thinks that after he was shelved that he should have went to prison and still kept his rank? I mean, are you
That's what
serious?
he's. Yeah, that's what he was saying. That he should have been able to keep his rank. And what I don't know is was he shelved? Did he actually? Did they just shelve him, or was he just not going to be a captain
No,
anymore
he
and
was
just be a
shelved.
soldier? So they actually,
He was
yeah,
shelved. He
okay,
had a lot of resentment toward Peter Gotti, uh,
yes,
and he had a lot of resentment because he felt like Peter Gotti wanted to keep his money. He said,
yeah,
and then there's other, and then there's the family side of it of why he decided that and I'm not going to get into the family side, but there is a
Right, right,
family
right.
side of it. Why he
Hmm.
decided um, to rat, but the fact is, or to inform.
Yeah, right. And
And
the feds also froze his assets, so he didn't have money coming in for the second family, and then he was, he was definitely angry about that. But I think it just is strange to me that he would, based on that he would, it's just a strange story. So,
do
it
you
is
think
what
that
it is.
Mikey Scar should have done the video yesterday?
No, I don't think so because unfortunately, it's going to make him feel like he was making excuses for why he did what he did. I mean, a lot of it I do agree with is that if you rat on one person or 99, you're a rat. Or even if you just talk to the government, yeah, you're a rat. But at the same time, you have to be real and say that certain people did provide more damage and testimony than another person. So, he definitely did that.
And there was also he testified in the Uber killings, uh,
Hmm.
the couple that were robbing the social clubs,
Yep.
and plus much more we don't talk about here. I
Right.
think the best thing for Mikey Scars is just to accept the fact that he is what he is. The name of your
Hmm.
show is No Excuses, and
Yeah.
yesterday you kind of strayed away from the No Excuses show,
Yeah.
because you were trying to minimize how many people you put away. You were trying to minimize what you said, whether it was 1 or 80. The fact of the matter is, your name was put on documents,
Yeah.
and 80
Yeah.
were
Right. He's saying he didn't know all of the 80. So, he was saying that, and I know the government does that. So, you'll get a list of people that are going to testify. And so, yeah, that's
yeah.
true. I
And
mean, like you,
the government will set up innocent people by putting their name on form and saying that they're going to. All they got to do is list them as a witness.
yeah, yeah,
And it doesn't.
exactly.
Not even if they didn't flip, they could just list them as a witness, even though
Yeah.
they're not a witness.
Yeah, and that's what he said was happening, and I didn't know this was true. That on his trial, that they actually had put um, Junior put John Gotti Jr. down as a witness for the trial, and
And he
it
wasn't even
was
had no part of the case.
right.
That's what the government does. They could do that
Yeah,
easily. They could do that to
yeah.
anybody.
Mm,
They could do
okay.
that to anybody. They do it all the time. But the fact of the matter is, he, Mikey Scars, was an informant,
Right.
and uh, I don't think he should have done the show. And one other thing, I like RJ,
Yeah.
okay, but I think that RJ keeps using the line of, well, what's the difference whether you rat on somebody or whether you kill somebody that's your friend?
Hmm.
RJ, I'd like you to think about when you say something like that, think about like Peter Gotti. Tell that to the Gotti family, to Persico, tell it to them, to Catullo. Well, he testified for Catullo. Tell that to Fat Sal Scala, who died in prison on a short sentence because of his
Yeah.
health.
Right.
A lot of these guys that go to prison, they're death sentences for these guys, especially the older guys.
Yeah. Definitely.
And when you're talking Peter Gotti, the reality is that Peter Gotti probably would not have done life. He would have got maybe 12 years or something.
Yeah.
I just don't think that when you are someone at the level of Mikey Scars, when it comes to being an informant, you should take the blows. Don't even answer that because OC Shorts. Would you say all OC Shorts did was put up facts?
Yeah, that's what I saw. It was just facts. It wasn't. I didn't see really any. Wasn't criticism. Wasn't any sort of personal thoughts on it. It was just basically going to the documents and just putting it out there. What he did. It was just. I think a lot of people just didn't understand. How effective Mikey was as a government informant, and so they hear about it, but when you actually put a name and face to person that you put away, then that kind of makes a difference. And so that was good to see that. And for Mikey Scar's credit, he doesn't go after the people that he puts away. And I mean, you can give him that at least.
Yes, but I felt like yesterday he may have done that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
When he went after,
Yeah, with Peter Gotti and
no,
yeah,
with the Angel Gotti thing.
I mean
When
Angel
he
Gotti.
said with Angel, when he said Angel Gotti takes her orders from her brother.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what's funny when he said that? The minute he said that, I said, "Oh no, there it goes. Angel's doing a show tonight."
Yeah.
Because I knew that would bother Angel because she does not take marching orders from nobody.
Yes, she doesn't do
And,
that.
it was just comical
Mhm.
because why open that? Angel's been quiet pretty much when it comes to Mikey Scars. A lot of people's been quiet when it comes to Mikey Scars because he is exposing the biggest fraud on here, Sammy
Mhm.
Gravano.
Yeah, and I think there's also, here's what we see out there, and I hear this from different people, from RJ, from Mikey. There's the thought that Angel Gotti is this advocate to the family, in which she does. She'll protect her family, of course, but they think that she's the mouthpiece, or she's like the spokesman for the Gotti family that will be giving statements on the Gotti family, and that statement comes from all the Gottis or comes from Junior. So that's what the thought is that she's a public spokesman for the Gotti family, and that when she says something, that she's talking about what Junior Gotti and the rest of the Gottis want out there in the public. And that I don't believe that's true.
No, you know what I do every morning? I get up every morning. I call Angel. I say, Angel, can you please tell me what John Jr.'s marching orders are for the day?
Yeah,
What is it he wants us to do?
right.
And then she'll tell me, well, first of all, Lee, he said you got to lose weight. So I went on a diet, cut back on my coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, this man gives it's funny. He doesn't even know what exists on here. He really doesn't know.
No.
He just doesn't. This is a man that has a son who's a fighter, has a daughter who's a basketball player, has a pretty successful life. And listen,
Sure.
I don't know two hoots about. I've never spoken to John Jr.
Hmm.
and not defending John Jr. in any way. I'm talking about facts, what people know about John Jr.
Yeah.
And the last thing he's thinking about is what Mikey Scar's saying on here.
Right.
And I notice because I know people that when they mention stuff online, his answer would be like, huh? So what? Don't bother me with that.
Right. Exactly.
So he doesn't know what's going on here online. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's just our basic stuff that we have to say about. Mikey Scars might take this the wrong way about what I'm saying right now, but Mikey, I don't think he should even touch that show yesterday. I don't know why you did that show. It just didn't seem like. The fact of the matter is you put a lot of people away. You put people away that died in prison because of your testimony. So I don't think that you should be out there defending it or even trying to minimize what you did. Because yesterday, I feel like he tried to minimize what he did.
Right.
And listen, me and you, we don't think alike, do we?
No. No, not at all.
Sometimes I say something and James is over here thinking, "Oh, Lee, shut the fuck up." Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then what about the Sammy thing? That was interesting too.
Oh, tell us about that Sammy. What happened on Sammy's show yesterday?
Yeah, so he does his weekly podcast or his weekly YouTube live, and so I guess he's been hearing the rumblings because he brought up the idea that he only accepts questions or answers questions from people that give him a super chat. So he started off Monday's show by saying that's not true, and he believes that people donate money to him out of the goodness of their heart. And he said that he looks at all the questions that people post. And then what he did was he said there were 13 questions that hadn't been answered, I guess, from previous shows. And so he's going to answer those questions first. And he said that none of those questions came from people that donated. But then a little bit later, he did clarify and said that if you donate, you're more likely to get your question answered.
And you know what? I got to agree with Sammy for one reason. I
Yeah.
can't believe I just said that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to agree with Sammy for one reason.
Yeah.
When he does his lives are very busy. He'll have 1,000 people, he'll have
Oh
1,300
yeah,
people.
sure.
So of course he's not going to, he's got to refer to the
Moderate. You got that moderate
and
assistant.
to the money questions. And
Yeah.
and I've seen people give him $500.
Yeah, that's
If
just
someone gives you
crazy to me.
$500, you answer them. If someone gives you $100, you answer them. But Sammy, when you said it, you picked 13 out. Which ones did you pick out though? 13? Did you pick out any of the tough ones? Because I put tough questions in there that I know that he would not. I mean,
Well, and
Sammy,
that's why I say that, because he's gotten, I know people that will, if someone puts a question there that he doesn't like, they get blocked. You better not say anything about what he did to the kid or anything like that. You're going to get blocked, and he doesn't. He protects. Or his team protects what gets to him. So it's just the way it is, I guess.
yeah. Do you think that Sammy is going to continue with the lies? Because we discussed this.
Yeah,
Because he's talking about that back room thing. It seems like
yeah,
it's moving slowly.
yeah. I mean, that's what I have to think. I mean, he's going to, when you look at it as a brand, he's going to, I think, still have some things on YouTube, but obviously he's going to want to push people to that paid platform. And he thinks his website, it's going to be the hub for everything that he's doing. But I see him still doing some stuff on YouTube, but once he gets that rolled out, I don't see him doing the lives like he's doing. He just has to get some content out there, so that people can still
So you
know
think,
that he's relevant.
so you think that he's doing the lives right now to make sure that, and this is another thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
And because we know about this, we do it all the time
Hmm.
to get the lives out there.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do the lives all the time, but we put up shows because we know we have to stay busy.
Yeah.
We're just a small show, and we do a lot of work. Oh, people, damn it, I forgot to run this damn thing again underneath like I was planning on doing.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, please, if you want to donate to the show, you could do so. You can send it through
Hmm.
Cash App. You can send it through PayPal. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Also, there's a little heart underneath here you can hit to donate to the show.
Yeah.
Just so you know, these shows are work. We don't just put them together in 10 minutes. Believe me, because we have to look up a lot of research, and we do not do live shows that much. Not nearly as much as we used to.
Right.
And just so you do know that. And also, there's one other thing. Please hit the like button. It's very important that you hit the like button. It's very important that you sub to the channel if you
Yeah.
have not. And if you have not subbed to the channel, please do so. And there's a little bell there. It gives a reminder when the show's coming on. And if you can hit that, a lot of people don't hit that, so you don't get the reminder when we're coming on right away. You might bump into the show a couple of days later and see it. But I just thought I'd mention that. Okay, so let's get back to okay, so there's one other person we want to talk about. Okay,
Yep.
Sammy, we talked about it. Sammy's going to do, you know what? Sammy has a live. Sammy gets a lot of people in there, and the reality is, me personally, if I was Sammy, I'd just stick with the live. But why he hasn't started the Patreon page, I don't even know if has he.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think he wants to do it through his website. I mean, he wants to do everything through that website as a
Well,
hub.
we're building a website right now, so that
Yeah.
and we are, and the website's called Mob Content, Real Mob Content.
Yeah.
.com. That's going to be our website,
Yep.
and it's almost built.
Very
So
good. Yep. And
yeah,
it'll be really cool when, we'll definitely get that out for people to look at when it's ready.
yes, but well, people can open it up and there's nothing on there, just a couple things.
Right.
But we're it's the back structure of it's being built right now, and
Yep.
it's going to come up, and it's going to be worth looking at.
Yeah.
And there's things that we're working on. We're working on the Patreon page.
Yeah.
So for this show, because, we're about to hit 10,000,
Yeah,
and we're still a small show. We're just trying to get larger, and just so people know
exactly.
that. Okay. Also, didn't you speak? I spoke about 2 weeks ago, maybe, to Rob Rosso.
Yep.
So what's going on with Rob?
Yeah. So, I wish Rob, a happy Easter, and so he responded back yesterday morning, and so a couple of things going on. One, which is some positives. So he says he's back with his wife. I guess they moved back in together about a week ago, and then also. The last we had heard from him, he was going back and forth from a couple of different properties, and so apparently he sold one of the properties, and so that's going to be something positive for for him and the family. And also, I think with his legal situation, they probably glad that he got rid of the other place. It wasn't good for him.
Is he planning on coming back and doing his show? Because a lot of people ask this question all the time. It's just sitting there with over 10,000 viewers. I mean,
R-
subs.
Right. Yeah. I think he even got made 12 and had 13 at one point. So yeah, he said he's starting to, he was going into the room. He's been getting the equipment and all that ready. So, it sounds like that he's going to, hopefully do something soon in the next couple of weeks or so. But, a lot depends on, with Rob, things can change, at a moment's notice. But, that's what is, seems like that's his plan, is to get back out there on YouTube in a few
Yeah.
weeks.
And we're not here gossiping about Rob. We're basically, he knows that we do this. We are
Hmm.
just basically telling you, because a lot of people say, is he okay? Is he back in jail? We don't like a lot of rumors starting. No, he's not in jail.
Yeah. Yeah. And
We know for, does he
right.
have trouble with his probation? Well, you know what? When you had a lifetime sentence, you have trouble with your probation for the rest of your life. You know,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then you know, the thing that you'd promised, you remember he was every month that was the thing that we wanted to try to give an update on Rob at least monthly, just to and he was going to try to come on the show every month. That
yeah.
didn't happen, but still, he wants to be able to let people know that he's thinking about them, and we both care about Rob. We wish him the best, and just hope he's will continue to get better and be okay.
And there was a myth created here that people make. They say stuff sometimes really silly. One of those
Hmm.
things is the mob genre is only so big, only so many people can make it in the mob genre. I've seen at least 5 new shows in the last 2 weeks that are out, and they're
Yeah.
documentary shows or whatever. I'm not going to name them because they are competitors. I don't want to name them. You go find them yourself. Okay. And the reality is, the mob genre is a very strong genre that's getting bigger, not smaller. It's building.
Right.
And for the only way you're going to make it in this genre is by putting out good product. Would you say that, James?
Yeah, I mean that's what people want. Obviously there's people that have their own niches in this. Uh, you have these channels that they call them attack channels or whatever, and yeah, they'll get some people and money and all that, but not everyone likes that, and so I
Yeah,
think there's a
that's
lower
yeah,
ceiling on that. Is what I'm
yeah.
trying to
There's
say.
there's this. You're not going to grow on a continuous basis.
Right.
People, and every time we're getting a lot of new people here all the
Hmm.
time. People I've never 95%, 99% of the people that we have underneath here don't even know about what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't even mention anybody else because they don't know anybody else. They come here, there's people that will attack me, let's say. Uh, but no one's listening to them except a little group of people.
Right.
That's it. It's not, the people that we have here every day. How many times do you look down every day and you go, "Oh, I just subbed to you. Really liked your show."
Yeah. Yeah.
99% of our stuff is compliments.
Yeah,
Uh,
I really like that. And I like that, the other thing that's encouraging to me is just seeing the number of people that are going back into the library of videos that
Oh
that
my
you have
gosh.
out there. You know what? There's 500 plus videos.
I look down
So,
now and see the numbers on the library,
yeah,
and it amazes me. I've seen videos go from 1,000 to 3,000 overnight,
yeah,
just because all of a sudden it gets in the algorithm out of the blue.
yeah.
You don't, we had a short that did that.
Hmm.
It had 2,000, and now it's like 19,000
Oh, wow.
in a couple days.
Yeah,
That's because you want people that want the quality to come in here and
yeah,
tear your library apart. It's all about your library, people. So what you develop is very important. Everything we do here, it goes into the library. So we have to make sure that we're putting quality product into our library.
yeah. Yep, and I like it. I even go back a lot of the stuff. It's funny. You even have people that really don't remember who Danny Trio was,
Oh,
and
those videos go up 100 every day.
yeah, yeah, they do. And I mean, it was great stuff. A lot of the interviews that were done. So yeah, I mean, as we march to 10,000, the good news is we're getting more. A lot of newer people. We're getting people from other countries, other states that. And that part I like, just seeing new people in the comments, and so it's some cool stuff going on.
And we're going to be at 9,400 probably within a week.
Yeah,
We're like 45 away from 9,400.
yeah.
So,
Every day it's growing.
and with that, and we have the stuff, and we're little guys. This is a nickel and dime budgets here because we don't have the money to.
Right.
Some of these new shows coming on, they got the money backing them up, and they got the
Hmm.
equipment and all. Everything here is done, on a wing and a prayer,
Yeah,
and band-aids. But
exactly.
okay, with that, I just like to say thank you to everybody. Like I said,
Yeah,
please help support our channel if you can.
yeah.
Hit the like button, hit the reminder button, and if you haven't subbed, please hit the sub button. James, I appreciate you being on here. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
you'd like to say before we go?
No, I just good luck on that on your diet
Yeah.
that you're on, and
Day number 6.
yeah.
No cheating.
So no, that's I wish you the best on that. I mean, for
I
me,
have
it's
dreams.
hard
I
because I
have
love
dreams.
carbs. I
I
like
have
the carb
dreams of
people.
monster carbs attacking me,
Yeah,
trying to grab me and pull me back.
yeah. I
Okay, my man.
understand.
I'm going to close
Thank
this
you.
down. Everybody take care. Thank you. And we appreciate you watching our video.